Have you ever created a detailed plan to completely transform your life only to feel overwhelmed and give up a few weeks later? If so, the problem may not be your motivation, your discipline, or your follow through. It might be the plan itself. Because many of us assume that the more detailed and comprehensive our plan is, the more successful we'll be. But in reality, complicated plans often require too many changes at once, making them difficult to remember, maintain, or turn into lasting habits. The truth is that simple routines are often far more effective than elaborate plans if we are looking to create that real sustainable change. So, if you're tired of starting over and you're ready to build habits that actually stick, this episode is for you because today we are talking about 3 reasons why simple routines work better than your complicated plans and how simplifying your approach can help you become more consistent, more organized and more successful in reaching your goals.
Are you ready to stop the chaos, the stress, the overwhelm that's filling your life? I'm Renee Matt, and together you and I are going to build simple routines that are going to change your life. When you put these habits into practice, you're going to be able to organize your life in a way where you can be there for your family, pay off your debt, save money, your house can stay organized, you don't have to stress about what's for dinner, and you still get time for yourself. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the Routine Advantage Podcast.
Now, if you are somebody that is creating these elaborate plans or complex routines, there is no judgment here because that is how my brain works. I want to completely overhaul something. When I get it in my head, I want to get everything down to the detail. But I have learned over the years that I was not being consistent. And one of the big key things that I was doing wrong was that I was creating too big of a plan. It was just too much change at once. It was too hard to stick to. It held me back in so many ways, even though I was trying to make myself better and to live as a better version of myself, I should say. So, when I am talking about these routines, if you are looking at it and you're like, simple is not going to be effective enough, I want you to listen to this full episode because you might be surprised at how much of a difference it can make, even if you start small. So, we're going to go into the 3 reasons that I think simple routines work better than complicated plans. And you can do your own research, you can do your own testing, but this is definitely my personal opinion on why I think that they work better and why I have had success and why I think other people generally have success, even if they've had a hard time sticking to the habits and the routines that they built. So, first one is that when you are choosing simple routines over complicated ones, they are more likely to work with your lifestyle rather than against it. And this is a big one because if we are trying to change too much at once, like I had said before, we are going to end up changing things about the way that we live our lives. And if we make that change too fast and too quickly, what we're going to end up doing is reverting back to what is familiar. We're always going to go back to that, or we're going to be really pulled back to that. Maybe not always, but more often than not, we're going to be pulled back to it. And then we're going to give up our plans because it was just too hard to stick to. And we're going to feel like we just didn't have enough willpower to tough it out and to do it. And we're going to feel the failure on our side and not actually look at the fact that the plan was just too much because it went against what we're doing already. So we have to make small changes that work with our lifestyle to benefit us, not to change everything we're doing. If your goal is to completely change your life and change everything you're doing and change your lifestyle, then that is totally fine, but do it in small doses. Do it in small chunks. Create a small, simple routine to just start the process. And then once you get consistent with that, build on another aspect of it because that is what is going to help you to actually maintain it long term and to start seeing results and seeing progress because you've been consistent over a longer period of time. If you change too much at once, it's just going to be too much and you're going to revert back to what is familiar. And you can probably guess the second thing is that simple routines are easier to maintain consistency. And the reason this is because when you repeat something that is simple over and over, not only is it easier to do because you're not doing such a big change all at once, it's something small that can blend into your day, and when you repeat it over and over, it becomes more automatic. And it's actually like a science thing. I'm not a scientist and I'm not like super brainy when it comes to things like this, but it is something that actually rewires your brain. If you look up neuroplasticity, that is what is happening when you are consistently repeating something over and over. So if you pull in a habit or a routine that you are trying to be consistent with, and you figure out how to build it in a simple way and repeat it each day or over and over, however it works, whatever you're trying to implement, you keep repeating it, and eventually you're going to do it without really even thinking about it. It's just going to become an automatic thing that you do because it's part of your new lifestyle. And you don't have to like check it off of a list because you don't have to think about it anymore. It just becomes part of who you are and what you do. It's like when you walk in and you kick your shoes off and you hang up your coat and you put your keys probably in the same place every day. You get up in the morning and you brush your teeth, and you're probably doing the same routine in the bathroom every time you're getting ready for the day, whether you're pulling out your curling iron or your makeup or you're doing your skincare. You're probably doing it in the same order without realizing it. When you come down to the kitchen and you make your breakfast, are you making your coffee? Are you doing it this in the same order? You just start doing these things just because they have become automatic, and it's because your brain has adapted to it because you've repeated the task so many times. So, that is what is so great about being able to keep your plans simple, keep your routine simple, is that you're going to be able to maintain the consistency for longer. And then it becomes that automatic thing you do. And it moves into number three. When you have an automatic routine built, you have less decision fatigue. And that is the third reason that simple routines work better than complicated plans. Because when you can rewire your brain to do these things automatically, you're going to go through your day understanding that you have built routines to support the life that you want and to accomplish the things that you want to throughout your day. And because of this, you're going to have less decisions that you're going to have to make because you have already done the work ahead of time. And now you're just rolling through and living your life and going through the automatic motions that you have built. So think about if you have a meal planning routine and you have already built out your menu, you know exactly what you're having. You can just come home and you can go into the kitchen and you can just start making dinner. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to decide what to pull out of the freezer. You don't have to decide what to pick up at the grocery store. You don't have to decide what everybody's in the mood for, what you're in the mood for. You don't have to decide any of that. It's so many less decisions that you have to make in a given day just because you took time for one evening and you took 10 minutes to sit down and write out all of the meals that you're going to have that week, and you went grocery shopping for those meals, and they're in your kitchen, they're in your fridge, they're in your pantry, they're in your freezer, everything you need. And all you have to do is come home and just make the meal. And that's what you can focus on. It's just simple because you've already built it into your life, and it took hardly any time or motivation to just come up with that list because you've already done the work ahead of time, and all you have to do is pick a few meals to go through your week. It's not that big of a deal because you're doing it not in the moment. If you wait until the moment you have to make dinner, it's going to feel more stressful. You're going to have more decisions that you have to make, and it's just going to feel more overwhelming. So it's just taking the time, and it does not have to be a complicated menu. You just need to know what you're going to have for dinner, and it's simply a matter of having a plan to do that each week. So when you are looking at simple routines and simple habits, they are so incredible because small changes done consistently add up over time. It's kind of like when you're building retirement and it's like you might only be able to do a little bit at a time for a while, but they just continually add up and all of a sudden it just starts compounding and it grows exponentially. That's how your habits and routines are. So if you think that you are building something into your life and it's like this just doesn't feel like it's enough, just stick with it because I guarantee you, you're going to thank yourself later that you stuck with it. Because then once you're consistent with it, you can build on. Like, if your goal for health, you want this incredible, healthy lifestyle and you want to be eating healthy, you want to be hydrated, you want to be working out, you want to be doing all these things, and you want to be this super healthy person but you have a hard time just drinking enough water every day to make sure you're hydrated, you're not getting great sleep, you're not doing all of these things, you're not eating well, like you're eating a lot of junk food, like overhauling your life is going to be really difficult. You might stick with it for a while, but eventually it's going to be a really binge-worthy night that you're gonna want all the sweets, you're gonna want all the junk food, and it's just going to feel like you're backtracking and now you've given up because it's just too much at once, you can't stick with it, and all of those plans are out the window. So instead, start small. It's like if this is your goal, this healthy lifestyle, start by just making sure you hit your water goal every day and be hydrated and start there. And if you can get that and you can get it consistent for a while, focus on your sleep. And then while you're doing that, you are well hydrated and you are getting a good night's rest. And now you can build onto that. Once you get consistent with that, then it's like, okay, how many vegetables do I want to eat in a day? Or how many servings of vegetables do I want to eat in a day? Or, whatever your plans are, you can just continue building small things on top of it and eventually, over time, you're going to find that it's much easier to be consistent. And before you know it, you are going to be living the lifestyle that you desired. And it wasn't that big of a change all at once. So you were able to maintain it long term. And now you can look back, and even though everything felt small, each time you pulled something in and it didn't feel like it was that big of a deal, you can look back to where you started from now and you can see how much of a difference that actually made because you're living a completely different lifestyle now at this point because you were willing to make those small changes and just build the consistency and continue with it. And you've completely changed your life. So it is important to start small, understand what it is you want to do, and then achieve your goals by getting consistent with just a small habit or routine first, and then continue building it up over time. Now, if you are like, I have no idea where to start, I just don't even know where to begin, everything feels a mess, everything feels chaotic, I'm stressed in every aspect of my life, I do have 5 foundational routines that I talk about here on the podcast. So if you're new here, you can go back and listen. If you need a little bit more help, you can go to my website at reneematt.com/blueprint. And it's a workbook that will just walk you through building one routine at a time. And this workbook actually walks you through an 8-week process because it helps you to actually focus on one thing at a time and then move you through. So you can build it and implement it, work on it for a week and then move to the next thing. And then you've got some planning. There's some additional things in there that help you get to a full 8-week period. So if you're looking to do something for the next couple months over summer, like change your life. You can have so much more confidence with how you're living your life by the time you get to the end of summer. Like you will feel absolutely amazing. The 5 foundational routines that I walk you through are set in an order that I recommend. I think they are probably the most helpful for most people, and these routines apply to everybody. You should have some type of basic routine in all five of these areas. So, number one is your morning routine. You need to have a routine that gets you set up to start your day as the best possible version of yourself. So, you need to take some time in the morning, and this will help walk you through what you want in your morning routine because it does have to be customized to you. Number 2 is meal planning routine. This one, game changer. Number 3 is your daily 7 home routine. This is how to keep your home tidy and have a routine to quickly reset your home in under 30 minutes a day. And then fourth is your movement routine so that you have the energy to keep up with life. And number 5 is getting your base budget set for your budget routine because finances can be stressful. We need to know where our money's going, what's coming in, what's going out, and to simply understand what our finances look like day to day. So, if you need some help with that, again, you can go to reneematt.com/blueprint, and hopefully that will help you get started if you are looking for a little bit more support there. Now, I will quickly recap those 3 reasons why I think simple routines work better than complicated plans. So, number one, simple routines are more likely to work with your lifestyle rather than against it, especially when they are customized to your life and how you live. Number two, simple routines make it easier to maintain consistency because when it's repeated over and over, it actually becomes automatic because your brain is adapting. We're rewiring our brain to make habits and routines that we want to be automatic. So we don't have to think about them anymore. And reason number 3 is that simple routines over complicated routines mean less decision fatigue. If we are having less decisions to make every single day, we are less likely to be as stressed and we're less likely to burn out because we have things under control. So I hope that this encourages you to really take a look at the habits and the routines that you have built. Understand what you're trying to achieve, and if you are struggling to maintain consistency, or you're struggling with overwhelm, or you are stressed with everything that's going on, focus on simplifying. Understand what it is you're trying to achieve, understand what you want to do, and then pick one small habit or routine to start with first. Get consistent with that and then build onto it and just continue building over time. And eventually, you will end up with consistency over a long period of time, and you're going to end up with the life that you are desiring. So, I hope that this was helpful, and I will catch you back here on the next episode.
Did you love that episode or learn something useful? If so, would you do me a huge favor? My goal is to grow this podcast and help as many women as I can break free from the overwhelm so they can truly enjoy their life. The best way for me to do this is for you to leave a 5-star written review on your podcast app and to share this episode with a friend or in your Instagram stories. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.